Hello, ladies. Happy daylight savings time. Not. Ugh. Hi, Teresa. Hi, Libby. I think she's preferring Libby. Anyway, I was struggling with this stamp, and maybe I'll keep doing this one until. Ugh. Teresa, you had a question. Catherine Rains. Yes, Catherine Rains. That's the class I took in December. She has that free, I don't know, 5 lesson thing or maybe 6 lesson thing for creating. Oh, hi, Susan. And Susie. I think that I can't remember what if it's I can't remember the name of her class, but it's clearly easy to find on her channel. Plus, she also does a hi, Kay. She also does a if you subscribe to her newsletter, she does a newsletter every Tuesday along with a video on making collage papers. So, anyway, um, I look what I printed yesterday. Does this look familiar? If you're watching, oh, hi, Carol. If you're watching Masterboard Madness, the other day it was Libby's turn. Really unique video. And of course, these guys are AI created, but I couldn't resist. This is a freebie on her coffee shop. And there is a full kit, I guess, too. I could not resist these little old people. Well, because I'm becoming one of those little old people. I hope I don't scowl as much as these little kids do, but they are so damn cute. Um, anyway, so I just looked at the schedule, and I guess today is Sarah from New England Junk Journal. So after this, I'll have to check out what she's up to. Okay, so let me tell you what I've been doing. Whoopsie. I pulled out, okay, if you've been watching those Masterboard Madness videos, you will, and saw the one that Trudy did from Tucker and Tulips Designs, you'll know that she did something that I was just gobsmacked by. And I always mark how well a video hits by how quickly I jump on it and you know, copy the idea. So I said that today I would be doing the same version. So I have this, I put a few things, well, let me get these things out of here and then I'll show you. This isn't exactly the best box ever. It's only about 4 inches deep, but I figured if I'm using distress sprays, this would help, you know, with some of that. So I'll keep this nearby. Okay. So I'm just kind of curious. Did any of you or all of you see what Trudy did? Essentially, she created a masterboard. First of all, she laid down a layer of paper, like book page. Then she slathered paint all over it. And then she proceeded to decorate. I think she even did some embossing, but honestly, I forgot about that till it just came out of my mouth. And also, I haven't done any embossing probably for 20 years. So today probably isn't the day to see if I remember how to do it. And then she had like a bird, a mushroom, can't remember what the other thing was, that she had that she used as a template to lay over her masterboard and cut around it to create motifs. Like, so rather than cutting a masterboard up, like we typically do, into squares and rectangles and tags and belly bands and all that. So because I time is precious and we can't really afford drying time and all that. So what I did was I'll show you the papers that I prepped. And these all were calendar pages, fairly heavy paper. And essentially it looked like, not that you can really tell, well, there's some pieces I didn't cover. Essentially showing the structure of the, oh, hi, Christina, showing the structure of the body. And all in black and white. So I thought, okay, let's build on that theme, because then whatever I want to do, I can, black and white is a good place to start. So maybe as I'm showing you these, kind of decide which one you would like me to work on in this live. With this one, I used part of a record, not a record, geez. I used the music sheet, and this would have been an Elvis Presley one, and it had this very graphic, swirly kind of design. Okay, this one, you can, this was from a book, an old book that was just a booklet, typewritten, and it was showing how to do beading. And of course, this, to me, this is a little bit like macrame. Don't think I have the brain, Elvis. Don't think I have the brain wiring to be able to ever do it, so why not use it? In this one, I did some circles in gold, and I used a spool, an empty spool from thread. Because you know how good yellow's not my favorite color, but it looks so good with black and white. And then I mixed up what I commonly call pukey green. I don't know, Sharon, are you here? Sharon loves this green. But this is the color that Hillary chose for her wedding. So maybe I should be kinder and call it olive green or army green. By the way, I got this back from her. So she marked the 3 that she liked. This one, watercolor, this one, and this one. So that one's gouache. So one of these days I'll have to start working on those place cards. Okay, so there's that one. You knew that there was going to be a purple one. And here I used some book pages, some large print from a kid's book. Here's some kind of a farmer. And I got a bit carried away here. I was using my punchinella to make all those dots because, of course, that's wedding green. That is a motif that a thing that I keep loving. I love coming back to time and time and again. This one is, I'm not so sure about this. A couple shades of pink, and there's a metallic in there as well. So I don't know. I don't think adding the turquoise really helped, but it is what it is, and I'm sure we can make something good out of it. I like the colors in this one. This black and white graphic stuff that you see, that is the human body. So there's a DNA strand. So I used some really quite dark images from an old book and ones that I wouldn't have used elsewhere. So turquoise, orange, copper, Oh, and I guess I had a different blue there at some point. Hi, Elena. Welcome. Um, I love the navy and sort of lime green combination. This one had some map pages, again, music, large print. This was just, I mean, this is a color that I love. And again, you can see, I don't know if this was a brain here or not, but again, I kind of left, here's an unadorned piece altogether. So this just has the one color. And all I did here was I used the index pages from an atlas. And the only variation there was like, I guess to make the columns a little easier to read, they alternated between white and this soft yellow. So that's all I've got there. And then finally this one. This was old book page mostly. So I see what I did here. I even forgot I was trying to do a bit of prep. I traced a leaf stencil. I think I did that in 3 places. So I could easily cut that out, like Trudy did. I don't know. Okay, I outlined the stencil with just a gel pen and didn't ruin the tip, surprisingly. But I also am thinking that might have been the wrong order to approach this because, they're not very heavily decorated. Hi, Carol. I think you're new here. Well, hi, everyone, new here. You can't get anything past me, baby. Welcome. Um, so if you if you kind of picked a favorite that you want me to work on, say so. If not, I'll just probably turn them over and randomly pick one. I'll just give you a second to weigh in on that. Maybe while you're doing that, I'll tell you that I pulled out some stamps that I thought might be, probably can't see a darn thing on that. So I've got this butterfly, which of course I think will work nicely. It's not terribly big, but good enough that I think there's enough open area on it that it would pick up whatever design is underneath. This is a maze, which is kind of cool. A heart. This is just a foam stamp, one of those El Cheapo kid ones. This is a Buddha head. Now this thing, Elvis. Teresa's voting for the Elvis one. This, before I started working on it today, was just pretty well all black, and it hasn't stamped for a long time. It hasn't stamped well for a long time. You can see I paid $2.50 for it a few years ago. So I dug out this stamp scrubber cleaning pad. And I suppose this is probably old news to anybody who's ever, probably you all know more about this than I do, but so it says to gently rub the wet, apply liquid stamp cleaner, sold separately, to the stamp. Oh, to the stamp. Oh my goodness. Anyway, I don't have the liquid stamp cleaner, but what I thought was, because this was used and because I apparently can't comprehend what I read, I sprayed this pad instead with water, thinking whatever cleaner is in there could probably get reactivated. And I got this stamp pretty darn clean. So I'm just telling you that in case you have an issue maybe with that. I also used a baby wipe. This is a lady's face. Boy, my lighting is kind of crappy today. What can I do? Maybe that will help. I don't know. Okay, so these are, see, I didn't wipe this one. Well, maybe we won't use it. A couple of flower ones, and this sort of Western girl. I thought that would be really cute to cut out. Maybe she could be sprayed it with water. Okay, that works. And I think, Christina, that I do have another stamp cleaner, again, thrifted. Once I found one, I didn't bother looking for the second one, but so I thought this might be kind of cool. So last night, I also re-inked this Black Ranger archival ink. And when I was looking for something else, I came across this office stamp pad. Let's just see if there's any juice left in this one. Maybe not. I may have a re-inker somewhere, but I was thinking, like, why couldn't... Oh, that worked nicely. I shouldn't have wobbled it, though. Why couldn't a person use just those office stamp pads also? Okay, so, Elvis. Yeah, my issue is that I don't have the cleaner. But I was thinking, why couldn't like dish soap work as well? I didn't work on this one, but I thought this could also be cool. So anyway, so in the absence of any other votes, I will do what Teresa has requested. Okay, so that was the very graphic one. So I guess the song here was The Power of You. Okay, so I'm just getting myself a little organized here. Oh, sorry, before I go with that, I also pulled out a bunch of stencils. Oh yeah, you can see that. So I thought, maybe I could just use a fine pen and outline this headpiece sort of. I also thought that numbers would be pretty good because these are fairly big and relatively easy to cut out. This one is, again, very simplistic. That's the leaf I traced, but of course a maple leaf would be nice. A little harder to cut out perhaps. An acorn. I also had this. I thought that bird might be okay. Or I could just do what Trudy did. See, is it just me? Does anyone else experience internet? And she has an interruption in her interruption. Hi, Jonna. And this is one of the PM Artist Studio stencils. I think those are dahlias, maybe? No, not. Well, whatever. Mums, perhaps. So, I could be spraying distress, like these sprays through there, or I could perhaps trace around them. So Teresa got her choice, and we'll go with this one, this Elvis one. So, given that I used those, I just used my condiment bottle to make these bright red dots because we know that red, white, black, gold, that's sort of a classic combination. So I just wanted to have something there on the base so we're not starting with a naked piece of paper. Now, given that, and this is so busy, Teresa, did you do this on purpose? Let's see what would happen if I tried to do just a simplistic, if I traced around one of these stencils. I think I have to add some more stuff here. So maybe I will just forget my original color scheme and throw on some other colors. I just picked mostly the ones that are, an actual color as opposed to a metallic or a neutral, like a brown. So we've got salty ocean, speckled egg, wild honey, campfire, crackling campfire, picked raspberry, wilted violet, and I do have a walnut stain here just for the heck of it. Red and purple go well together. Oh, and Sandy's here. Hi, Sandy. Can anyone tell me? Oh, I think I'm supposed to be doing this sideways, side to side. Gee, sorry. Can anyone tell me if they are impressed with daylight saving time, or do you wish that the powers that be would just leave things alone? I was once chosen to play between innings a game on the big screen at the Mariners game. It was because I had an Elvis shirt on. Viva Las Vegas night. It said before Elvis there was nothing. Ah, he was the king, all right. Okay, so where's my spray bottle? Okay. Oh, I said I would use this box. So maybe it will keep my laptop from getting all spritzed. Oh, again, I'm going up and down. So I think the reason Trudy's idea worked so well is that she really, she really went for it. She probably doesn't need to she probably doesn't need to remind herself to be bold like certain other people might. Yeah, in Canada, Saskatchewan has never, which is, of course, next door to us to the east, has never changed their time. And we always thought they were kind of a bit backwards or something. But honestly, when I think how lousy I felt this morning when I woke up, Susie's saying, leave things alone. Yeah, the stats out there about how many more motor vehicle accidents there are kind of the Monday after springing ahead, kind of. Oh, you know what? Why didn't I spray through a stencil instead? Geez. Anyway, because we're probably going to need drying time, I should be able to work on something else as well. Okay. Maybe just for the heck of it, I should try stamping, because I would like us to try to cut out afterward taking shelter in Graceland. A few years, I think it's 3 or 4 years ago, with Hillary, her fiance, Roy and I went to Nashville, loved it. And, when you're that close, obviously you should go to Graceland too. So we did. This is going to be an issue. It's wet. So maybe I'll just put this aside momentarily, and I will do something. Where did I put the others? Maybe I will. Maybe let's try to salvage this one a bit, because it's probably my least favorite. So I think on this one, what I could do is if I use a stencil, what do you guys think? Should I give this a shot? I mean, I really can't. What can go wrong here, honestly? Not much. Okay, let's bring this box back in. We'll do it like so. And I will pick what will save this thing. How about speckled egg, just for the heck of it? Anyway, Jonna is in the audience here today. So, you know, yesterday morning, the girls, Jonna, Carol, Angela, and Hazel had a Zoom meeting, or not a Zoom, a StreamYard meeting to talk about the retreat, of course. And in case you don't know, the four of us, are hosting an in-person retreat in October in Georgia. So, you know, of course, we're all suffering from daylight saving time hangover kind of thing. But I have to say, and Jonna, you can confirm or change or disagree. But we have so much good stuff planned for the people who are coming that we're getting very, very excited because, you know, I think we're entering the fun phase of this operation. Well, that didn't hardly do a darn thing. Maybe, you know what? That wasn't a very smart move. That color is too close to that blue that I have there. So let's pick something more contrasty. How about this blue? Salty ocean. Oh, thanks for doing that. And I don't know, like, I'm not the greatest technology person around, but Jonna, who has a background in music, created a jingle. Like, and don't, you know, it's the comparison I always use is I don't know how microwaves work. I mean, there's a lot of stuff I don't know. I don't know how microwaves work or radios or anything like that. But of course, that doesn't stop me from using it. Anyway, somehow this woman has the ability to create a jingle. So she created a jingle for the retreat. Oh, see, that's a little bit better. A little more contrast. So you can expect to start hearing that on our channels. Again, I don't know exactly how I'm going to make that happen, but maybe somebody will walk me through it. I might have to pull out my... Oh, you sent me the... Yeah, she says we are planning so many fun surprises, and she sent me the jingle. So that's another thing I have to do after the... Oh, and can I just say that Jonna's masterboard video, which was early on in the month, was unbelievably beautiful. I didn't know where she was going because I must have been absent that day in home ec. When they were teaching how to do bias strips. So she started out with a fabric, with fabric on her masterboard, and then turned it into a mile-long journal tie. I'm going to just quickly turn. Now, this one I didn't spray with water, so it's more patchy looking, but it does kind of, here and there you can see that there were some petals. I will I will try not to use that heat gun again because I think it's kind of annoying. So I think what I'll continue to do is just add, because I have so many of these sort of started, I will just continue to add elements to others, and we'll let Mother Nature work her magic, and we can air dry some of these things. Now, obviously, ones like this that have a lot of black in them may end up being, maybe in order to have anything visible there, maybe a person is going to have to, pull in the build on white, like use white for white Posca pens or whatever too. So maybe what I'll do here, so we can try a few different things, is I'm just using a black gel pen. Like I have about 1,000,000 of these, literally, like about 100. I'll show you. I don't know, probably it's wrong to be having them face down like that. But I also have these. This was something different. I think these are from the dollar store. Hey, maybe that blue one would be nice on there. Anyway, some of these are better than others, but honestly, I'm in a excuse me, I'm in a use it, don't store it mode. So let's see what we get if we try outlining a bird. Jonna, would you? Oh, hi, Carrie. Um, Carrie, I did follow up with the old paper lady. Thank you for tipping me off to the fact that she was all excited about masterboards. I'm so ticked off at YouTube and their new way of doing whatchamacallit, comments, handling comments. I have no idea if she saw what I wrote or not. I would like to get to know her better. Speaking of that, oh, hi, Cuddy. Speaking of that, tomorrow's heart-to-heart guest is Laura, the half-assed crafter, and Carrie. I can distinctly remember that you were the one that talked her up initially, because I said to Carrie in a comment, I said, how is it, excuse me, how is it that you know everything about everyone? Like how do you manage that? And her answer was that she's just nosy. Well, I don't know. I don't know about that. Anyway, it is very much appreciated when you we should call you YouTube this could be ruining this pen. We should be calling you YouTube's matchmaker, because you're probably responsible for more new relationships than Tinder. So the reason I'm even trying just with a pen like this is because so far these sheets are all they have on them really is paint. So I'm thinking the likelihood of damaging them, um, the nib is maybe a little better. So for those of you who came later, what I'm basically trying to do is sort of my take on the video that Trudy, Tucker and Tulips Designs, did for her day on Masterboard Madness. I also showed at the beginning this freebie that Libby, who was also in the crowd today, was offering. Um, you know, I have some feelings about AI. Can I just tell you that as a farm kid who we had cattle for a lot of time. So back in the day, AI stood for artificial insemination. Some purebred bloodlines into your herd and maybe didn't have the right bull or couldn't afford the right bull, you could, of course, get semen and have a vet. I'm just cutting one of these out so we get an idea of what's. Oh, I guess I should try to leave the blue line intact. So that's the farmer's version of what AI is. We visited friends. Some of you will know that my birthday was on Friday, and thank you for those of you who wished me well and so on. Anyway, we got invited out to some farming friends. Like we got invited out for supper one night. And so we went there, and of course, they still have cattle. And we found out that a cow-calf pair, so in other words, a mother cow and her calf, are selling for $6,500. That's when you want to have a herd. And that also explains why beef prices are the way they are. It's cattle, or I guess any kind of livestock. It's not easy to get your herd numbers up, to take advantage of, market changes. So when farmers were maybe getting $1,500 for a cow-calf pair, obviously there would have been a surplus of animals because it's supply and demand sort of thing. So anyway, by the time, see, if Roy and Hazel were trying to get back into cattle, that's what would happen. By the time we overpaid for a cow-calf pair and integrated them and fed them and sold them, that would, the price would have dropped again. Oh, see. uh, oh, thanks, girls, for the birthday wishes. And Kay said she also downloaded these. Um, I said early on in this live that I think she calls these snarky. What are they exactly? Snarky, I don't know, grandparents or something like that. Um, anyway, so yeah, of course, Sandy is in the farming business too. This is Libby's digital because she did her masterboard video. I don't know, I was away from home for a day or two, so I kind of fell behind and I oh my goodness. Okay, I better catch up with some of these texts. I'm okay, Sandy, your question. Am I making journaling cards? I'm basically copycatting Trudy, who did her masterboard video with like she started with book pages, added paint, did some stamping and some embossing, and then she cut out her own motifs. So she had these fat little birds and so on. Now, of course, um, there's no end to what more could be done to these papers, but I just wanted to show you that, isn't that cool? I also, well, why don't we stamp the butterfly too while I'm here? Um, just to give you an idea. And I'm just letting some of those other papers dry. Oh, anyway, sorry, I'm kind of all over the place. I'm trying to catch up with these comments. So yeah, Jonna will never think of IA the same. Okay, happy birthday, happy birthday. Kay says she's downloaded those too. Happy to oblige. Reason. Okay, so this is Libby's digital. I said that. Oh, Cotty said she did a masterboard and it is such a flop. Trying to decide whether to keep going with it or show you that can use it for something else or start over. It's really bad. So, Cotty, that is an interesting comment. So, her turn is coming. I don't know. I can't see my schedule right at this second, but her turn is coming up as well. So, are you saying that you don't have experience doing master boards and this was a struggle for you? Is that the issue? Or, oh, see, that turned out quite nicely. And look how beautiful that butterfly is going to look. So let's pick another spot. Because, I'm constantly saying that everything goes, there's an ugly phase for virtually everything that we create. So why not? You could use that as a teachable moment and show how you salvaged it. And it could also be that you're just judging your own work too harshly. And of course, once I cut out some of these butterflies, I can also go on to, add some mark making with Posca pens. No, I've done slot that I like. No, I have done. Oh, I have done lots that I like. I just tried something different with transparent painty papers. Well, I think it's totally up to you what you do next. Like I said, I think as many times as we say it, people still need to hear that, yeah, this, hear and see that, oh yeah, that was pretty brutal. And somehow we pull it, we pull it out of the fire and save the day. Maybe it would be easier if I just got around this and then got a little closer. So I think what I'm doing just to make this a wee bit bigger is kind of just cutting about I don't know, 1/16 of an inch or so. Normally I just cut the antenna right off. And if I remember, I draw them in with a pen. And if I don't, then they are out there in the world without their antenna. Okay, then after I cut this out, we will check the dryness of those other two. So I think the beauty of what Trudy did is that you can take this to the nth degree. So of course, as I always do when I'm preparing for a heart to heart, I watch people's videos. Where's my bird? Now the bird obviously would need some feathers added to it or something. But you can see where this idea is going. Okay, this was Teresa's choice, so mm, perhaps not totally dry. Oh, getting there, I guess. Okay, we'll put these guys aside. And of course, am I going to throw these out? No, I'm not. Okay, what can we do here now? Should I stamp this? This, I guess the issue, well, why don't we try the numbers? That will be maybe better. The issue I'm having, and again, it's probably because I haven't totally let my hair down yet, is thinking that things have to make sense. A zebra stamp. uh, Carmen's Crafty Creations. Thank you for being here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, so I didn't finish the thought. So I'm thinking, okay, well, there would never be a purple cowgirl. Yeah, perhaps there could be a purple heart. Maybe I could try the teacup too. And then I'll do some numbers. You know, again, when I was playing with these, and I'm just, so far, I've just been using the, oh, no, that would have been a lie. I was going to say I've been using this office stamp pad. Let's see if it's going to work. Not bad. But maybe since I re-inked this Rangers one, I should use it. So the thought that I still didn't finish was I just prepped a number of these. They were just calendar pages that showed sort of what our bodies look like inside in terms of vascular, you know, vascular areas, DNA strands, stuff like that. Okay, Teresa says that I haven't seen her purple cowgirl skirt. Carmen is saying the more layers, the better. And honestly, you know, I hope that you all feel that you can say whatever you want to in the comments and offer advice and put in your 2 cents worth. That did not stamp very well. Unfortunately, I find that quite often with you know, these old wood-mounted stamps. Okay, I think she wants a cowgirl, so let's try that. Oh, this should work quite nicely. I can see it's inking up well. Oh, and in case you're wondering, this paper that I have on my desk is just kind of an unattractive gift wrap. I did that video recently on taming the beast of our paper rolls because honestly, it was getting that I could hardly open. I think I'm just going to leave it on this acetate. I could hardly open my door fully because I had so much stuff hidden behind it. Gift wrap, wallpaper, butcher paper, shelf liner, drawer liner. Susan, I think the cowgirl goes great with Texas Two-Step Tuesdays. And it is Tuesday. Now, I'm probably breaking all kinds of rules here by not doing even pressure. I could have also grabbed a brayer, and so let's hope this took, because of course with this dark background. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, you know what? I mean, obviously she would be a lot cuter if I fussy cut her, but if I didn't want to put myself through that, I could cut this, kind of right there, there. But I think what I liked about Trudy's idea, and of course, just because we're copying somebody's idea doesn't mean that we can't add our own, um, twist, take on it. I'll just try to kind of quickly. This does end up being rather thick. Now, I didn't bother, mind you, there's quite a bit of the numbers on this calendar. There aren't any boxes or numbers. So theoretically, some of these might not even need to be backed, because so what if people know that this started out life as a calendar? So what do you mean? We name the papers, you have them. Oh, and how about the heart? Yeah, I could do that one. Okay, so somebody better clue me in. What I thought the Texas two-step was a dance, like a line dance in a bar or whatever. Is it something? Is it related to is there something more that I'm missing there? Because I try to run with the in crowd, sometimes fail miserably. So you guys have to look after me and help me with those cultural references. Now, normally I would, if I was fussy, I can't see where I'm going here. If I was fussy cutting this on my own, I would be going in there and removing, those areas under her arms and between her legs there. So, are any of you still thinking about seeing if you can join us for the retreat? We'd love to have you. And I was going to say, what am I missing here? Oh, hi, Debbie. I'm thinking she's saying hi, Debbie, but where's Debbie? So just to get my bearings straight, Debbie, are you the one that is Sandy's dear friend? Okay, that's looking pretty cute too, I would say. So that's what we have so far in terms of things that are cut out. Again, I would, take my knife and do her under her armpits and there as well. Okay, so clearly I need. Oh, it is, but it's also her collab. Okay. And I think I said that, Susan, last time I checked out your news report, in that if I was a private detective, or if I was trying to book interviews, your channel is, or the news broadcast is a perfect place to scope out some talent. And perhaps, well, I don't think you ever publicize, what am I looking for? That number stencil. You never publicize anyone's emails, which is usually what I need, but what if I try this hot pink pen? You know, if I just paid $1 for it, I might not be as upset if the nib gets ruined. So in Trudy's video, I think I mentioned this, but I'll repeat it. She also did some embossing, which of course adds another layer and another look to this. I hope you're checking out all the videos in Masterboard Madness 2026. And if you have nothing but time on your hands, you could go back to last year's. They're all in a playlist on my channel. I think that people are really, really have set some high targets for themselves to, whoops, I went to skew there. Can't see a darn thing here. To, outperform themselves from last year. So I showed Libby's free digital. I didn't realize, Libby, that you had so many digitals in your coffee shop. But her idea was very clever too, in that she used I think she used packaging, if I'm not mistaken, and then used those, cut them in such a, I don't know if she told us the dimensions, but fairly small pieces, maybe 4 by 6, and use them to create kind of a flip book. And of course, she decorated her pages with these cute little seniors. Sandy, you do have a lot of friends. You are widely loved in the community. And I miss the fact that you and I can't do live sales together anymore. Oh, I should tell you what I'm thinking. Not that it's going to matter materially to any of you. There is an antique show, a vendor show. Where's my pen top? That happens in Edmonton. Anyway, for anyone new, I live in Alberta, Canada. Well, yes, there are several Sandys. I live in Alberta, and the capital city is Edmonton, and I live about an hour from there, hour and a half, depending where I'm going. Anyway, so I just innocently, and see if this has ever happened to you, you just innocently, very, very innocently go to YouTube, thinking you're going to get a little piece of information. I somehow assumed that the show was taking place in March. So I thought I couldn't go last year. So let's make sure I don't miss the dates this year. And, put it in my calendar and be aware. And if I can go, I'll go. Because the previous year I really scored. I bought a guy's whole supply of piano roll paper at a good price. I think, because I was taking it all. And that, of course, is what I dye my purple cabbage paper with, or on, or when. Anyway, you get the idea. So I go to the website and I see, well, no, the sale is not in March, it's in May. So I was really out on the date. And then I see that, oh, they're still looking for vendors. So, of course, as many of you will know, the whole tariff thing has made it impossible for me to sell anything affordable to U.S. customers, who are predominantly who my people are, because of the whole tariff situation. Now, whether or not that changed after the Supreme Court decision, I guess, remains to be seen. However, I thought it hard to believe that somehow a formula has already been figured out how to refund tariffs to people who have paid them. I can't wait to get some of my money back. I just don't honestly believe that, to be honest, because I think that would be such a dog's breakfast. So many, transactions, so many people, whatever. Anyway, long story short, I'm having to figure out another way of getting some of my great stuff into people's hands. Like I have ledgers, I have, vintage textiles, all kinds of stuff. So anyway, I've been corresponding with the show director, I guess she's called, to see if I should book a space and be there for the 2-day show. These are kind of turning out cool, eh? Now, those random red dots, okay, just catching up. Libby, you keep coming back because, Costco will refund customers likely through lower prices. Yeah, we're so used to prices coming down. I believe that. Yeah, Libby, we keep talking about your snarky people, so digital, so. And I was talking about what you did for Masterboard Madness. Oh, and today, don't forget, I haven't watched it yet because I was busy getting ready for this. And Susan, of course, started out the month with a really good kind of basics tutorial. What is a masterboard? Why a masterboard? 1, 2, 3. And the cowgirl and the butterfly. I don't know. Like, so far, I think I'm leaning to these guys the most. Probably because, you wanted me to try the heart. Maybe let's pull this guy in and see what happens. I think because this is so very busy. Now, the only reason this made this short list here is because I'm hoping that there's enough open space here that it, some of the design shows through. That's why my Buddha is not the greatest choice here. I could also try, maybe I should try this flower. That's probably not going to stick. Oh, it did. Never say never. Oh, yeah, it's true. And while I don't want to, you're doing math. Okay. Oh, damn, I won't be able to be there live. Some of you know that there is it's called the Odd Page Society. There is a junk journalers group in Edmonton, and I have gone in the past. It, it's just so lovely to be in the back of a scrapbooking store, chit-chatting, laughing, getting rid of stuff, sharing stuff, picking up stuff at the swap table and so on. Or wait, what do they call it? Rummage table. And swapping projects. But then, because our leader is a nurse, she somehow, or maybe kid activities, I'm not sure what it was, but anyway, they changed the date to Wednesday. So of course, I can never go to a Wednesday evening thing because of Heart to Heart. However, one of my dear subscribers that I've since met, that's pretty cool. Whoops. then it doesn't, then I don't feel so bad about this being such a wild background. Let me do that again a few more times. Anyway, long story short, they have now, Mo has now added a Sunday activity at a place, a coffee shop, bistro, something, something. I've never been there, called Rhubarb. And for a $5, see, back in the day, we would have called it a cover charge if you're going to a bar. $5 cover charge. And then, of course, you better, if you know what's good for you, buy something off the menu. So anyway, I'm planning to do that on Saturday, just because I haven't seen those women for, well, probably 6 months. But anyway, I will definitely watch the replay because Carrie couldn't or wouldn't couldn't say yes to being a featured artist, but um, you know, I appreciate that you're transplanting it over to your coffee collage. And given how much Carrie loves coffee, ugh, I almost, oh, got it on my knuckle. Given how much Carrie likes coffee, that is the perfect name for your Saturday get-togethers. So I'm just wondering, as you're seeing, not that this has been so very brilliant here, um, are you getting some ideas for what you could do on your own? I'll cut one of these out just so we have a little fashion show of cutout motifs. Now, I said that this was calendar page, a heavy paper, and of course I've added the layer. Now, depending on what you use for your substrate, it might be a wee bit easier to cut out the items. But the beauty of this is that, if I were to, say, tuck a flower into a pocket or whatever, it doesn't need any additional work at the back because, that calendar happens to be quite open. And I'm just basically doing sort of, I guess, what you would call kiss cutting here. I don't want to accidentally cut off the black line. And it also makes, I just think it's kind of a nice look in this case. And, I could have cut even further away and made the thing bigger because let's face it, this is only probably a little over 2 inches across. So. The other thing, oh, Susie, well, Susie, you love everything that everyone does, so that's great. That's why we that's why we all love you because you're so supportive. I have to tell you, I don't know if it is, um, again, and I don't want to turn anyone off by talking religion, but those of you who are following the girls and know that we do Bible journaling once a month, will know that there's been a bit of an evolution in my own belief system and sort of consulting the Lord a great deal more than I used to. And I don't know whether he has now stepped in to help with booking heart-to-heart guests. I know my agent, Teresa, made a connection at Carrie's thing last Saturday. This is kind of annoying me here. Anyway, there's the flower. Isn't that cool? Now, of course, I could go in with you know, a black pen. I could add, whoops, I could add, you know, sort of marks to the individual petals. Make it look a little more realistic. This pen, or maybe it's just on the metallic paint, it's kind of resisting, which is okay, which is kind of nice actually, because then it looks more like, it looks what we used to call in arts class, more painterly. You know, a broken line, a line that comes and goes, is of course more pleasing than like a coloring book outline. Now, let's pull out a Posca. You know what? Let's stop caring that you'd never find a pink center in a flower. And do some of these. Like the black will still, the black of the stamp or of the ink will still show through to some degree. Oh, no, I didn't. Oh, Carrie. Thanks for stopping in. I didn't know that Diane Pretty Pink Cottage is thinking about starting a new channel for religious journaling. Well, we know she's very much, you know, a believer and musical. I guess she plays what, the organ or piano in her church. Going to have to check her out. I have a hard time keeping up with everyone because, of course, I'm always looking ahead. It feels, do you feel like, whoops, my light is so crappy. Do you feel like that center is sort of lost there? Maybe I need to add some black or white. I'm just digging in my bag of Posca pens. Good grief. I don't want to, oh, there it is. Oh, that's white. Well, let's try white. Just to maybe give it a little sparkle. Oops. Oh, is this thing trying to be dry? Yeah, that automatically, I think that definitely helps. And of course, the more erratic you can be with your mark making, you know, like have some overlap, create bigger areas of white, the more au naturel it's going to look. I wonder if Jonna is still here. Jonna, if you're still here, would you please put your link or make a note in the comments about what you and Mary are doing this afternoon? Isn't that amazing what white does? And I think, see, I don't think we were really supposed to go down a rabbit hole and just decorate one flower, but sometimes you have to go where the spirit takes you. So I'm just going to add a bit of black down here, like reinforce the shadow, because where is that thing? You can see that that's the stamp designer did have that in mind for us. Oh, Teresa, thanks for doing that. Oh, oh, yes. So those girls marry Plethora of Papers, who apparently is at this moment a little too shy to be a guest. Oh, I didn't finish the guest story. And Jonna have done a number of lives together, and they've gone candy crazy, and they're doing these lives on Tuesday as they explore everything you wanted to know about candy but were afraid to ask. So, and this applies to anybody who I've asked or invited to be a guest, and I don't know if that black really did what I was hoping it would, but I think I have to go a little bit further to make it more believable or something. Anyway, back to the Lord being at my side, holding my hand. I have been finding it so much easier to book guests. I don't know if it's just I don't think it's a different echelon, or I don't know what it is. Like, I have to say, I have landed a couple of really, I would say, kind of big names. And I'm thinking, yes, thank you. Thank you, thank you. I don't think I'm going to do any more real decorating, but I never did try this thicker stamp, so let's try that. Can you imagine doing this whole masterboard just with these flowers? Like, wouldn't that be a real nice pile of collage fodder? Maybe I will save that particular one for that. Okay, let's go back to to Elvis. I just don't know. I think typically when I'm using foam stamps, I'm using paint. But we'll see if I can get this dark enough with this stamp pad. I did chocolate rivers and chocolate fountain, Twizzler trees and circus peanuts. Oh my. I love candy. Oh, thanks, Cotty. I love candy, so these journals have been fun. I've always said I will have a mansion in heaven that looks like Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. Yes, well, and you did introduce us to the candy bracelets. I just don't have, I don't know where you guys buy them, but I don't really see them anywhere, especially kind of in bulk. The ones I bought around Halloween that were in a bigger sized bag ended up being like the kind you'd put on your favorite dolly. Okay, so Teresa's work. Oh, okay, you're working on Mary. Smarty candy necklaces. I've never even heard of that. I don't, oh, and I almost didn't. Oh, that's not too bad. I guess if I would have applied more even pressure. Ah. Okay, let's cut out this heart. You know, some of you will know that my parents ran a bakery. Like my dad was old enough. There was a big age spread between my parents. 20 years, people. Anyway, my dad was old enough to have been drafted, I guess, in the Second World War. And he never made it to active duty because he had flat feet. Thank you. I have flat feet and plantar fasciitis. But he also lost, which hand was it? These two fingers on one of his hands. That was a farming accident back in the day. And of course, you know, I don't think anyone was reattaching fingers in the, I don't know when that would have been. Anyway, where was I going with this idea? Oh yeah, bakery. So he couldn't be like, you know, you can't have soldiers who can't walk because of flat feet. So he became a cook in the army. And then he and my mom got married and they were camp cooks. Let's try this again. They were camp cooks at a logging camp. And of course, I have no recollection of this, but I'm firstborn, so they dragged this toddler along with them. And I guess I lived in camp with them because there are pictures of me with these long tables, like in a mess hall type thing. Anyway, long story short, baking and that sort of thing came naturally for them. So they had the opportunity to buy a bakery from a woman in our town. Oh, I almost stamped over that teacup. Who, a widow woman. I don't know, maybe she got old and couldn't do it anymore, whatever. I was just in grade 6 then, I think. Oh, family whose 5 sons were in World War II and they lost all 5. Anyway, so when my mom and dad bought that bakery, I think I've told you this before, bread was 20 cents a loaf. So 5 for $1. And you know, that's before Wheat Belly and all those books about carbs. Oh, that's much better. Carbs and all of that came out. And bread was wheat was the staff of life, and bread was, you know, it was part of one's daily diet. And farm families and, you know, meals in the field and, you know, that kind of thing. Anyway, so and how poor were we? This building had living quarters attached to it. So we lived in these few rooms on the side of this storefront. And then, you know, as times got better and the business was a huge success, they built a new building on the main street of the town. Kind of blunted the end of that heart, but so, okay, let's just, for the heck of it, see what adding some hot pink would do here. Or I also have purple, but purple will be lost on there. I also have turquoise. That might be nice. Anyway, where am I going with this? Is going to be the longest story known to man. Okay, bakery. Why did I start the bakery story? I don't know. I guess you know, Jonna said candy. I thought bakery. So that was like they did scratch baking. So in other words, none of this frozen dough BS that many bakeries switched to. This was like from scratch. I'm just adding a dot to the point of those little curlicues. But now I guess I should, That was ill-conceived. I'm going to add dots all the way around. Anyway, and now, I couldn't be bothered. Well, I guess I left out a part of the story. So we, when you live on a farm or in a small town, you automatically, unless there's something wrong with you, you leave the nest. You go to the bright lights, you get an education, you get a job in the real world. And then if you want to come back and farm with your parents, that's what you do. Although every so often you get those bachelors that never leave home and are kind of socially inept. So I think that's a mistake, but who's asking me? Anyway, so went to the city, went to college, thought I was going to be a social worker because, I wanted to help people. Discovered that I didn't, like I was being drained to the point that it wasn't doing my mental health any good. So then my husband gets the call of the land because, of course, his parents are getting old well, they both died relatively young. So he got the call of the land. We moved back to town because we had this little tiny fixer-upper house. Oh, Trudy, your ears have been burning all morning. Social work is so hard. Oh, no kidding. And I was a child. How the heck did no, I've always been mature for my age, but did I honestly think that at age 19, I had much to share with the world or people in trouble? Trudy, let me show you. Well, let me show you. I prepared a whole bunch of these are calendar pages, like millions of them, millions and millions. And so have narrowed down a few to work on here. So out of this purpley black and white one, we've got a couple of hearts. We've got this cowgirl. I didn't do all the fuzzy cutting just yet. Some numbers. And I was saying, oh, I didn't wipe this. I was saying to the ladies that I think in some cases I might have done this maybe in the wrong order. Because if a person, like the purple ones, for instance, are Distress Oxide Spray. So if I were to wet that would obviously, oh my goodness, why didn't someone remind me to throw this in my pail of water? Maybe I better do that right now and hope it helps. Okay, so there was that. Then on this one, I used a stamp, a flower stamp, and I've decided I'm going to do the rest of this board all in these flowers because I think they would be such cool, decorative pieces. Collage fodder, focal points, whatever. On this one, I've stamped a bunch of butterflies. I know why I started the bakery story, because and this is an old habits die hard. So my parents, like my dad basically did the bread baking, although they worked together. But my mom was sort of the pastry person. So she would make, say, the donut dough, roll it out, and then, of course, have a donut cutter. And this was all done by hand. So if this was my donut cutter, you don't cut a donut here and a donut here and a donut here, kind of like I did with these butterflies. You practically butt them all up together because, of course, you collect the dough in between the donuts and re-roll it. And of course, there are going to be time, the more you re-roll dough, the tougher it gets. So if you ever hear me talking about cutting things out like cutting donuts, that's where that came from. Okay, what are you saying here? I'm going to put all my little fodder cuties on a PDF. I will email it to you and you can share with all the ladies that want them. Just going to draw a few more. Well, and that's what I said at the start of this, that, yeah, you did your fat little bird, which I thought was so cute. Yeah. Thanks, Trudy. Yeah, I wanted to. So, what I've been doing, just for Trudy's benefit, I pulled out some stencils. Whoops, that's where I got that bird from, the center of there. Oh, I never did cut out those leaves. I had traced this on one of the boards. So I used, okay, and these big numbers. And then I used some stamps that had a fair bit of open space as opposed to, well, you know what, just for the heck of it, because why? We don't know unless we try. I did clean. Is this big enough? This is like cutting out donuts. No, not quite. Okay, I have this Buddha stamp. Let's see what happens when we do a stamp that is so full, with no real open space. It's probably going to be a waste of, the design underneath. Actually, Trudy, if you send me that, your people, your creatures, your designs, what I can do is email that to you. I mean, if you don't mind, email them to all the artists in the collab. Oh, did I see somebody? Love the lady. What is that stencil from? Oh, I'm famous for throwing away packaging. I have no idea. This one is another one that I would have liked to try. I have so many lady stamps. Now, there would be a lot of wide open design because it's just her features and a jawline that's there. Anyway, did I see that it's also Debbie's birthday? So happy birthday. Yeah, Cara Mia, when she did her master board. Oh, how did I forget to gush over hers? You guys have to see. That's Julie Nuttingstown. Oh my goodness. John, which one? The cowgirl or the face? Julie Nutting. Anyway, you must watch everyone's videos because they're all precious. But honestly, Cara Mia, oh, that didn't work because of paper differences. I should have known that. See, this was part of the original calendar. This, and this, and this, and this. Well, we'll pretend that we wanted a design like that. Let me try to find another area. I might have to do this on a different one, just because, oh, maybe I'll try the maroon one. Just because I don't have enough flat surface there. So the focal point, which would have been the Buddha's face, happened to fall in a dip. That's why I didn't print. Let's do it on one of the lighter patches. Anyway, back to Kara. She used a magazine. Oh, so Trudy says that it's the cowgirl. Yeah, I have a lot of lady stamps because, of course, although you would never know it because I didn't finish, Teresa, you'll be my witness. How many years ago? Was this the very first thing I ever started? My celebration of women journals? And of course, like, that's why I don't really like stamps like this. Look at this missing area. Although, well, whatever. Let's cut this out and see if we could live with it. And in the meantime, let me wipe this off. Yeah, how many years ago did I start the celebration of women journals? And most of them are ready, are nearly done. So I have a lot of lady stamps because, of course, people. Okay, let's cut this out. So a person could go in. I think I'm going to try to cut this close to the line. A person could go in and, of course, well, sorry, let me finish one thought before starting another. A person could go in and, use this as a guide and add some more marks there. Anyway, the beauty of Trudy doing her own, like making her own cutting templates, is that, if it's truly her own design, then she could scan them and sell them. Of course, I can't do that with any of these things because somebody else created the stamp or the stencil, and that would be copyright infringement. So it's really smart if you want to do this and have the skill to, oh, I missed see, there's kind of, I have to do a better job there. Then as long as you've obscured your substrate and aren't using any copyright papers, it then becomes your creation and you can do what you will with it. Okay, let me see what I cut off something I shouldn't have. This is a mutant Buddha. Okay, what's happening here? 3 years ago. Yes. I couldn't believe, and we were gushing over Libby's freebie as well in her coffee shop because she also did something clever with her masterboard. And then, of course, Jonna put us all to shame with her fabric journal ties. Okay, how about if we try this girl's face? We'll get a really big expanse there. See, these aren't conducive to, but again, should I care? Maybe I'll go back to the maroon one. I was going to say not conducive to skin color. No matter how colorful we see the world. Okay, there are some even patches here. Because this calendar showed vascular and DNA and neurons and stuff like that in the body, I didn't bother covering them up because why would I? There was built-in pattern there. So this may be a flop too, but maybe I could at least salvage the eyes or something. Yeah, so one of these days I'm going to pull out those journals. Now, of course, I'm not the same person I was 3 or 4 years ago. None of us are. So I may be horrified by what I see, but I could also, amp things up and just, oh, did you see this? That's just Posca on that. Okay, if I stick over here, I think that's all one level. Okay, I'm going to give it a shot at drawing one of my faces to make it a pattern. I will work on that. Great. Those bias strips were super awesome, says Christina. Oh, and Christina, of course, lives in Memphis. She was one of the people, in fact, probably most of the people in this group are people I've interviewed from Heart to Heart. Anyway, long story short, when the girls and I get together at the end of May, we are going to meet with Christina and her mother-in-law, and I don't know, break bread or share a coffee or go shopping or something. Oh, Teresa. Yeah, no, that was in an art journal. One of the things I'm going to be gushing over with Laura tomorrow, the half-assed crafter, is her paper dolls. Maybe if I do this, I'll get more even pressure. Do her nose. Do her jawline and lips. A bit. Should I draw a pencil line? Oh, let me just go for it. How badly could I go wrong here? Okay, we're cutting over to her eyebrows, or her eyebrow. Then we're doing a little dip there between her eyebrows. Gentle curve. Then we round the corner. And pretty well a straight line down to this jawline. I might have to add my hot pink or something to her lips. Oh, I could add a sparkle to her eye. Not bad. Okay, white pen. Let's add a highlight. Mind you, do I want to change her iris color? Let's do lips. I also have a coral color, but pink would probably look better with the maroon. I also have this. I love this. Okay. I could very easily ruin this, Now, do we want this on the fullness? Maybe that's where this would go. Oh, see, it doesn't cover very well. So if I screw this up, I can probably cover it with something else. That's pretty meek and mild what I did there. Yeah, probably not a good idea. So because I loved what research I did for Laura's interview for tomorrow, Half-Ass Crafter, I think I would like to do that in a mixed media thing. Copy that idea as well and do those paper dolls. That would be a bold step for me. I think I'm kind of not helping this. Libby, I love Laura. I'm excited for this interview. I'm newer to her channel, but loving it. Oh, and Christina says she's excited to meet us. Yeah, I think it'll be fun. And Christina, I would say on behalf of Jonna and Carol and myself that if you, the more the merrier. If you know other crafters in the area that we are not aware of, by all means, extend the invitation. Because that's what it's all about, building building up our Rolodex of friends. I would not consider this a win. So, file that information where you need to. Mind you, maybe if my painted paper had been more interesting, or maybe I have to draw her a face tattoo or something. How are we doing for time? We're almost at the 2-hour mark. Susan, it was great to have you here. I didn't put you on the spot and ask if you're playing hooky today, or is it a trace over it in white? Jonna, what do you mean? Like wherever there's black? Oh, stamp her with white. I don't have a white stamp. Sandy Peppers. Well, Sandy, hello. Did you just join us? I don't recall ever seeing that name before, so welcome. And I could, just forget about photorealism and have fun with it as a mixed media thing. Where's my white pen? Let's see if I can. I don't know if you're. Oh, she might be on spring break. I would race over the black with a white. I think she means trace. Okay, Sandy. Well, I'm glad that you came out of the shadows and identified yourself. Like said hi, because that's what this is about. Okay, I'm just going to. So I'm not completely obscuring I'm using a painterly. We talked about painterly before. I'm using a painterly mark making. That was barely visible. Probably helps that this pen may be on its last legs. Okay, where's my reference? Gotta give her some eyebrows. I'm thinking that a lighter touch is better here than heavier. And if I have to add or go over, that would be the more prudent thing to do. That seems to be helping. Smart cookie. Anyway, I don't say it often enough, but well, number one, I appreciate all of you being here and the people who watch the replay. But there's a bigger highlight in her eye. But if you ever have any suggestions for guests for Heart to Heart, then by all means do what Teresa and others do. Just reach out to me and tell me. Oh, that made a big difference, Jonna. Smart girl. And who else said that? Christina? Oh, and okay, so people, Christina needs 7 subs to get to 500. Hopefully, when I interviewed her there, all of you regulars would have subscribed then. But if you didn't, or whatever, then do it now. Let's get her over that line. This is so hard to see here. When you go into stores and are being, the cashier is waiting on you or sales clerk or whatever, my goodness, that's bad. Those look like eyebrow hairs, not. Now I have to kind of try to curve them a bit. I forgot what I was doing. Got carried away talking. Are you ever shocked and awed by the eyelashes that you see some young women wearing? Like, I don't know what the motivation is there, but I'm thinking you're young, you're beautiful. Why have you turned yourselves? Why are you choosing a clown-like appearance instead of just enhancing what the good Lord gave you? That mark is something else, so don't highlight that. Let's give her maybe a stronger jawline. Like, obviously, there are some false eyelashes that look, beautiful. They augment what Mother Nature gave us. But when they are brush-like and crazy long, then we know that came out of a drugstore, not a. I almost feel like adding a line or two here to give her nose a bit of shape. Or not shape, but, to indicate that. Whoops. Maybe. Is my pen telling me, don't? I want to do this like a feather touch. That might have been. I guess I have to leave it now. Unfortunately, okay. Okay, Sandy is saying she used to be a hiring manager and long fake eyelashes were a definite red flag. Okay, just a minute. Let me back up and see what's what here. You know, when I interviewed Janine from Uppercase Magazine, which I loved that one so much. Oh, and Sandy, so you come to the interviews as well? Well, say hi. Say hi. Um, anyway, remember the day that everything went kerflooey and it looked like Teresa was showing off Spanish and then all of a sudden it turned Cyrillic and nothing was going right? So that was the very first time. No, maybe it wasn't the first time. Jonna pointed out that one of my comments somewhere, or maybe it was on her channel during a live, got blocked because I said something that I guess could have been misconstrued as a suggestive comment. Okay, Teresa is not sure, Jonna, but what every once in a while I have to unblock your comment, you naughty girl. Sorry. Can't figure out what word is triggering that either. Um anyway. Yeah. So John is saying, so weird, Teresa. Ever since Cuddy and I had that live and the troll popped in, I have been having issues. That was the day the chat was broken. I think that saved the day here, although maybe I need to add a wee something here. Because, you know, if we were doing this for real as artists, there would be that little teensy highlight at the fullness of that bottom lip. I don't know why that, and it's like, well, it's like real life. Our bodies are not asymmetrical. One foot tends to be bigger than the other, one hand maybe slightly bigger than the other. Quite often our smiles are not symmetrical. So it's not surprising. Maybe I was going for realism here without even knowing it. But these eyebrows do not look like they belong on the same face. So I have to try to make them look a little bit more au naturel. This pen really would like to quit. Oh, that's a thick one, damn it. If you get in fast, you can lift the paint. Maybe I should stop while I'm ahead, hey? Okay, we're at the 2 hour. I finally tried Pig Latin and then just added on. I need to contact you. Oh, she has a paid version. Okay, I didn't know that. Christina says, I know it'll put you in timeout for some pretty common crafty words that might have other connotations with other specific groups. Debbie says that sometimes it's a mystery why a comment is blocked. Okay, I think I'm going to begin winding down here, ladies. So let's make some space. One last showing of these cute little cranky seniors. Whoops, sorry. This was a freebie that Libby, Happy Place Crafting, offered with her masterboard Madness video the other day. Or maybe that was even yesterday. I don't know. I'm getting so confused. I'm so confused. Trudy said, and I think Trudy had to go if I'm not mistaken. Trudy is going to send me a PDF of the motifs that she created for her video, which is what we are replicating here today. And when she does that, I'm going to offer it to all, like last year I offered a freebie to all the participants on as a thank you, a digital thank you to the people who said yes. I don't know, to be honest, if everyone they were probably so sick of getting emails from me, so I think some people may not have even realized that happened. But anyway, once I get that from Trudy, I will share it with the participant group so that everyone could, take advantage of it. Now my paper, I should just yank this out of here. I'm going to do the tablecloth trick now. Yank out the tablecloth without moving any dishes or glasses, so we have a less busy thing to look at. And of course, if I take care of this paper and although there's a hole, if I keep reusing it, this becomes collage fodder on its own. So this was just a piece of gift wrap that I must have gotten in a package that I didn't like, so I thought it was fair game to use for that. Okay, so this is what we have. And again, there's no limit to what more can be done and should be done. This was throw that guy aside. And where is the flower? Oh, do I have it on the... Oh, right here. And this too, I think, would benefit from probably a fine white line, because the truth of the matter is that by the time we've added all kinds of colors to these things, there isn't a great deal of white space left. So this one has more white space. We have to reintroduce it with a paint pen. Okay, so I think that the ones that I love the most are the ones where I've gone in with some additional mark making. So that means that, there is definitely, these things are not a lost cause by any stretch of the imagination, because it's just a matter of doing a bit of doodling and further embellishing. And because it's a painted substrate, we're going to get our best coverage from something like a Posca pen. Although, maybe before we go, I should try one of my Faber-Castell brush pens. Let's try it on the butterfly to see if this is going to be opaque enough to... Which one do I want? Is it going to be opaque enough to cover? That's probably not a good one. Oh, and I forgot to say, color pencil would, use it, don't store it. Well, yes, and don't forget that's what, okay, Teresa's saying heat embossing the flowers with white powder. You know what? I might be able to do that. I have to pull out that embossing stuff. Anyway, I'm going to just see if I can cover up, introduce some of the turquoise over here. The problem here is that, you kind of have to color within the lines if you want to maintain the, so that made a difference there. That's not so bad. And Debbie is saying that color pencils would work well. Silver would be nice on the purple. Okay. Yeah, where's my, I've got a million of these, so maybe there's a silver in here that, some of these I bet you are just about, see, this one has kind of a sparkle in it. Maybe I'll practice on this guy since it's, oh, I wanted to tell you that Hope, for those of you who aren't in the participant group, you won't know that, I don't think you'll know that Hope had to pull out, Hope's Crafts, with her brand new channel, had to pull out because those men are working. That is not good enough. You know what? I might have this. A silver Sharpie. Sharpie would work too. Might need to go over it though. Yeah, it's not as good a coverage as the Posca. Anyway, Hope is getting her apartment, well, I think she called it renovating. I don't know if it's painting or what, but thanks for suggesting this. Made me look beyond what I had pulled out. And Darcy, if you love mixed media, Darcy, who I interviewed early on, she might have been, I don't know, in the first 10 or 20 people. Darcy's Mixed Media, she beat up herself saying, oh, I forgot to reply. I still want to do it. So anyway, last minute addition, Darcy is going to take Hope's spot on the 24th. There are two people that day. Sorry, I don't remember off the top of my head who the other person is. But, and here at these wider intersections, person can almost do that neurographic type, you know what I mean? Neurographic look. I'm not explaining that very well, but I think some of you will know what I'm talking about. It's where you build up your intersecting lines by sort of giving them a curved thing. Yeah, that seems to be helping. Okay, where's that actual stamp? It's probably right in front of me, but I threw it in the water. That's why I can't find it. I was just going to refer, since it's stamped so poorly here, but I can just make this be whatever I want it to be. Not sure about this, but again, who's going to make a liar out of me? Yeah, so I invited Darcy last year, but she was over committed already in March, so I'm glad she could be here this time because she's pretty unique, and of course is one of the stencil and stamp creators for PM Artist Studios. So she knows her way around mixed media. Oh, okay. Yes, I love it. Is it just me, or does the face look like she is crying? Oh, is it because of that little thing on her? Well, some days we all feel like crying. One thing I didn't do Oh, this is a stinky pen. Should I try to give her some blue eyes? Are there any blue-eyed people in the audience? That with us being Ukrainian, we all have the dark brown eyes. Wonder if one of these Sharpie things would work. Or maybe I could give her blue eyeshadow like Mimi. Remember Mimi on the Drew Carey show? Or no, what was it called? The Drew Carey show, I think, was a comedy thing after the fact. It had the name of his city. Okay, Teresa, you know all things, or Teresa and Jonna know all things trivia. What was the name of Drew Carey's show? And they always began with an opening in the street. No, Mimi. Okay, I won't do the blue eyeshadow. Remember what a vicious little thing she was? And who, I certainly didn't know at the time, that the guy, whatever the boss's name was Cleveland. Green hazel eyes for my dad. And considering that my name is Hazel, I never know what hazel colored eyes are. And his family's Romanian. Yeah, well, practically neighbors in Europe. Okay, so I have, in the way of Poscas, I have these two. Maybe a gel, because I want just a very... Oh, this can't be good when color is coming out the... Would this be close to Elizabeth Taylor eye? Hers was more lavender, I think. Violet. Yeah, that's what I feared. Someday when I'm not having any brain power to create, I should just test all these pens and find out I end up with 4 that are still good. That's a bit... Well, okay, so I have to cover the black here, which is probably going to be difficult to do. Well, this is kind of weird. This has sparkle in it. Where's that girl's face? I just colored in the iris. Oh my goodness. Forgot my eye anatomy. This is where the blue should be. That center should be black. That's our pupil. Did you know that some people say that if you, and this is when you're looking at bad guys on a movie or a certain unnamed hockey player, that if you can see the white above the white of the eye, above the iris, that the person is mentally, like, is a psychopath. So I don't know. I don't know if that is correct or not, but they are creepy eyes that, just add to the menace in a thriller movie, which is, of course, the kind that I love. Okay, I'm going over this. pupil and leaving the little white highlight there. This girl looks like she was out all night and has bloodshot eyes. That, I think, has kind of helped. It gives a little more definition. Okay, let's see what's happening. My granddaughter has hazel eyes. Other than that, I am the only blue-eyed person. The rest have brown eyes. Well, Teresa, we did know you were special. Hazel is green, brown, or blue-green. Okay. Her other grandmother has different colored eyes. Yeah, I'm trying to think. There was some famous person I saw not so long ago that of course, I don't remember. Okay, my three siblings all have gray blue eyes like my mom. Teresa says, well, that explains a lot, a lot. What? Interesting. Okay, next time you're watching a thriller, just watch for crazy eyes. You know, my challenge here, well, number one, I shouldn't be using a glittery pen for an iris, is, let's try something like this. Oh, this probably isn't going to work. Too light. This should be an opaque blue. Next time you're watching a thriller, see if they don't find someone with crazy eyes. Or maybe people who can just open their eyes so fully that the whites show. But it is unsettling. I don't know if those people who profile, you know, RCM, not RCMP, FBI and others who profile, if this pen is no good, if they have ever made that connection. Oh, this is kind of a green. Let's see if I can lighten this, cover up some of that maroon color. It's not covering. This was going to be bad, probably. Watch me ruin this. Oh, maybe if I leave a little hint of... On this side, where there's more of the lighter color, the blue was working a bit better. I don't think I helped matters. The other didn't 20 minutes ago, didn't I say that I was winding down? I'm staying here until I ruin this face. Deal? Deal. You know how our lips, especially as we get older, get more of these little marks. The lack of collagen. Now I think... Oh, Teresa says, I may or may not know a few people with white above the iris. My oldest grandson used to fall asleep with his eyes open sometimes. A little freaky. The FBI must know the crazy eye rule. Face tattoo time. Oh, dear, dear, dear. Well, you know, people who have been in prison often will do the tear tattoos under one eye because, of course, I'm sure they have a lot to cry about. And another way to know who's been in prison is if they do those stamps on, or not stamps, but tattoos on their this part of the fingers. I don't know if one hand typically says love and the other one says hate, or but it's obviously a homemade job. I feel like I must try to save those eyes. I have to lighten that because that Sharpie was too well, and eyes, like every other part of us, are not a flat. They are a combination of. Although I think typically the lines in an eye are like from the outside towards a pupil. They're not. I'm going to everybody go to the mirror and see, are the markings in an eye circular or are they? And I probably, can I still lift this? Nope. Well, see, this girl's face is not symmetrical. Like, I know that I have one eyebrow higher than the other. It's funny. I'll tell you one more story and then I'm out of here. When it used to be more so than now, the school board in the city came up with a continuing education calendar of classes. I mean, everything from cooking to sign language to fine art to, whatever was hot at the time. So there would have been calligraphy classes or whatever. Anyway, I don't know if it was my sister, who's 2 years younger than I am, who said, oh, look, there is a class called Makeup Facelift. So I think we were all in our, of course, I'm the oldest, so we were all in our early 40s at the time, when we were still naive enough to believe that we could, stop the march of time. So I think 4 of us registered for the class and went in. Well, it turns out, and it was at a beauty school. So we were in, this was in the evening. So the hairdressing students were gone for the day. And somebody better take this pen away from me. And I don't know who that would be since I'm alone here today. Anyway, the woman had credentials out the yin yang. She had done TV makeup or makeup for TV personalities like on the national news and so on, in Toronto, center of the world, in Canada, center of the universe. That's how we mock those Toronto people. Okay, what's the verdict? Oh, yes. Radiate outward, Debbie Epps. Okay. So now that I've covered the dark navy, with some opaque lighter blue here, whoopsie, I will go back in and add in some darks. That go the right way. Anyway, back to the makeup. So what the woman does, and of course the salon was carrying the beauty products that we would learn to use. And, Mama didn't raise no fool. then of course buy the product so we could recapture this look at home. So I wish I could remember the lady's name. That's a bit thick. I might have to blow at it a bit so that I could add very fine other blue lines. Okay, so she goes around the classroom, looks us over in a very, very kind of scientific way, and points out whatever, again, that whole asymmetric thing I was telling you about. So in my case, even though I have very kind of wispy, almost non-existent eyebrows on the one eye, in order to don't like that. In order to make those eyebrows appear more symmetrical, I would have had to pluck some of those hairs above the eyebrow, and then, of course, build up the ones on the other eye. So I shouldn't be telling you this the day before a live with my face showing. Nobody can pull out a measuring tape tomorrow and see which eyebrow is which. I'm on the verge of crying. I don't give up that easily. These, now I might have to add another color pan here. That's glittery too. This is going to be a very, considering this is only about smaller than a dime in size, how many shades and colors and whatever have I added here? This is partly an attempt to cover those very dark blue lines that I made. Oh, anyway, while I still have you here, so Debbie, are you interested in being a guest on Heart to Heart? I think that might have helped a wee bit. Anyway, and no Mimi eyeshadow. I certainly wish I would have done those eyelashes more natural looking like this side. But again, we'll chalk her up to being asymmetric. Okay. We aren't going to, you're not going to measure my eyebrows. Okay, good. Cynthia is saying that her husband has a glass eye and they are not round like they show on TV. That is true. Back to an earlier part of this conversation today, I did my field placement. When I was taking that social worker program, we, of course, had to do a field placement at an agency as part of our, learning process. So one year I was at the, oh, this is lifting. One year I was in observing a juvenile court, youth court. This is going to be plugged probably. And the second year I was at CNIB, which of course is Canadian National Institute for the Blind. So yes, I was aware of and had seen glass eyes when they were out of persons. I'll do this later. I can't. I'm trying to do too many things at once, and it's not really working. So yes, it is because of course that glass eye has to cover the orbit or the orb, which is our orbit, the orb, which is our um, the orb, which is the eyeball, and kind of hold its place there. It's kind of oblong because, of course, our actual, like here, this is an oval, or an ellipse, or an almond shape, not a circle. So it has to, that's the shape it takes in order to stay where it's supposed to stay. I do have another CNIB story. I'll tell you that one yet. Okay, so when I was, okay, so I did my field placement at CNIB. My boss was totally blind, and his name was Paul Newman. And of course, this is a long, long time ago. So he had made friends with people at a radio station because, of course, back in the day in radio stations, they used LPs, or I guess singles too. And on their turntables, because of course nothing was digital. And this Paul also used to love the old radio shows. Now, of course, those serialized radio shows. I can't think of any names right now, but he had those. Someone had done them all on reel-to-reel tapes for him. Anyway, as an employee of CNIB, I had to be on call, like other sighted workers, who could retrieve eyes that had been salvaged or harvested from a deceased organ donor so that they could get to the person who needed them. So at that time, so it was my turn to be on call. I got a call, I guess it would have been from the eye bank, I suppose. It's winter. I have to drive to the municipal airport, which at that point, there was a municipal airport right downtown. So it wasn't far to go, but it was winter, and I must have had a sniffly, like a head cold, a sniffly nose, so a bit of, sniffling and snuffling and whatever. And eyes, of course, or any organ has to be refrigerated. So it came by airplane, a cargo plane from, I guess, some other remote hospital, maybe a rural one or a northern one or something. And I guess someone in Edmonton was going to get those eyes. So anyway, it's almost like a little well, thermos is a brand name, but like a cooler. Old time radio. Um, so um, I go, and of course I have to sign for this small little, um, like a picnic cooler, something that would be refrigerated to keep the eyes viable, the corneas viable. And the guy that is getting me to sign the paperwork, he is just like horking and sniffling and sneezing and carrying on. And of course, all over the container is marked human eyes. So then he must have been clever as can be, because he said, "Do you happen to have any noses?" Because I guess he would have liked to have a nose transplant. Okay, I think that is passable, that is okay. Um, those eyes really gotta work out there. Um, Again, I like those eyebrows better because they look more natural, and that those eyelashes more natural. And it's probably like when we put on our own makeup. It's easier to do it on one side of our face than the other, probably whether we're left-handed or right-handed. So, okay, and then a final look at these guys. Again, I think especially with the flowers, there are a lot of possibilities. The bird needs some feathers and an eye and so on. This one will be salvaged. Oh, I see. I should have done silver there. The cowgirl, of course, has nothing on her, and neither do the numbers. So there's lots of room for improvement there. Movies for your mind. Okay, guys. Thank you so much for still being here. I realize that in some places we've, moved right into lunchtime. I appreciate you being here. I don't have a plan, I don't think, for next Tuesday. But I do have to say, because it was my birthday the other day, I got a number of art supplies. So maybe what I can do is use some of the stuff that I got. Okay, I'll show you one thing. And I don't like Jeff Bezos. And I can count probably on one hand the number of times that I have ever ordered from Amazon. But because I'm a flawed human being who doesn't always walk my talk, I seem to be able to ignore my conscience and put Amazon things on my birthday or Christmas list. So I got a number of these things for carving stamps. So how about if we carve, you've seen me do the videos where I carve designs into erasers. This is probably 4x6. I've never done one this big. So I think I want to try that. So if that interests you, that's what I'm going to be doing next week. And goodness knows, I've got lots here. So, and this came from Amazon, as did all my whole birthday gifts. Anyway, guys, thank you. Hope to see all of you tomorrow as I talk to the half-ass crafter, Laura. Thanks, guys. Oh, and Teresa, you said you were going to work on Debbie. Anyway, keep those ideas those are always easy to carve. Using a stencil pattern is fun. I will try that, Debbie, just because you said that. But I also want to use my own design, because then if I use them on I can digitize them because it's my own design. And I may just pull out my erasers and, I still haven't found all of them, but I will show you the ones that I've done most recently and try to build my own stash of my own designs. Anyway, thanks, ladies. We shall see you tomorrow. And Debbie, if you're interested in being a guest, just email me. hazelandakadesign@gmail.com. All of April is already booked, but hey, May could have your name on it. Anyway, guys, thank you. See you tomorrow. Don't forget to go to Jonna and Mary's live later today. And we shall see you next Tuesday for sure, and hopefully tomorrow as well. Thanks, Kay. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye, ladies. And Teresa, thank you so much for being you and being here and keeping track of everybody and taking care of us. She's a natural born caregiver. Thank you, Cynthia. You as well. Have a blessed day.